Did I forget to mention that Maxwell went into hiding in a very remote, luxurious mansion or cabin space in New Hampshire after Epstein was convicted of his charges? That's pretty sus, isn't it? Hey, my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy, ZNF1 here. So today, we're going to discuss the infamous Ghislaine Maxwell and kind of like talk about really whether or not she actually performed the act she's been accused of and what reasons would suggest that she would, or like what evidence. But before we go on and get into that, let's cue intro. Who is Ghislaine Maxwell? She's a socialite, right-hand man of Jeffrey Epstein, and then daughter of the former British media proprietor and Parliament member Robert Maxwell. She had a lot of connections because of her dad and like just a lot of interactions in general with those people in power and ability to reach out to them or converge, etc., with them. Now, with her father being in a high position of power and having connections to many people that also had those high status and power, you know, it's no real shock that she also had those connections and that it could potentially mean something to Epstein. Now, a lot of the stuff I had seen, there's reports saying that she was madly in love with Jeffrey and that Jeffrey liked her because of those connections to the wealth and power that she had. Having all these connections to the rich elites of the world kind of allows for, you know, corruption to be covered up and to bribe people so they won't, you know, talk about it and they'll keep the shitty things that somebody might do on the hush-hush. A core witness to her horrendous crimes committed, Maria, has been adamantly sticking to her story for the past 24 to 26 years. She doesn't really move during any of the interviews she's had on 60 Minutes, and she really, like, keeps the same tone and, like, look in her eyes. She doesn't fidget, she doesn't do any sort of signs, really, that indicate that she's lying. The only time that she does really do anything, it's when she talks about the fact of how scared she was to have her children. The only time she really ever does anything out of her normal is her breaking into tears just about explaining how scared she was to even have kids because she feared their safety and potentially not being able to protect them from Epstein and Ghislaine and all their other fucked up associates. Now, this woman made a report to the FBI in 1996, which was the first of its kind, and all they did was essentially shrug it off and just push it down. All these shitty things kept going on for like 20 to 30 years longer. It's fucked up. Maria reported something particularly like how she was invited out to one of Epstein's mansions. Epstein was like sitting on the bed and he told her, hey, come have a seat next to me, you know? Ghislaine then sits on the other side of her and they both proceed to like force themselves on her, which really messed up. You know, it's sickening. Not only that, her sister, who was 16 at the time, also reported being sexually assaulted and abused by Ghislaine and Epstein. That's a little too ironic, right? Maria, at the time, was a prestigious art student at New York's Art University. Epstein, when he first discovered her, bought her first major work and then proceeded to hire her to do artwork for his New York mansion. On the way to the mansion, Ghislaine repeatedly stopped the driver by schools and parks, frantically saying, "I need to get the nubiles," often giving these kids her phone number. Which is really suspicious, right? Kind of almost like recruiting, isn't it? This happened on multiple occasions, too. After reporting her story to the FBI multiple times and it being weirdly dismissed, Ghislaine started threatening Maria with things like, "I'm going to burn your art, then your career. Then I'm going to burn you and the house that you live in. Careful walking down the street, you could get shot in the back of the head." After all this, Maria went into hiding and stopped her whole art career. Again, it's very unlikely that she was lying about this stuff based on how calmly she prevented most of her story until, the whole part about having children, which, mind you, is extremely normal, especially for somebody who wanted to be a mother. Her eyes were very direct in telling her story and, again, didn't really move at all. People that are lying or are compulsive liars don't really do things like that. They're often moving constantly or doing something like scratching, or pulling hair, or like jitterily moving their eyes. Epstein was put in jail for a year in 2007. That still didn't stop him and Ghislaine's schemes though, however. It's really kind of fucking messed up, isn't it? The fact he only got off with a year in jail. It's so fucked up. Like that. I can't even get to express how messed up it is that a man who has several fucking reports of being a fucking pedophile and performing human sex trafficking can get off with strictly a year. Oh wait, that's right. If you have shit ton of moolah, you can just fucking bribe people off and you don't have to go to jail. We'll just take that good old fucking paper gold, man. Because that totally solves everything. Fucking A, man. Fuck people that run the world. Now, all victims said that Ghislaine recruited them as teenagers from the ages of 14 and up for sexual abuse and trafficking. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Maxwell went into hiding in a very remote, luxurious mansion or cabin space in New Hampshire after Epstein was convicted of his charges? That's pretty sus, isn't it? She's still sitting there saying things like, "Oh, no, I didn't do that at all. No, not one bit." It's kind of what every fucking, corrupt, greedy, rich person that's about to get convicted of fucking crimes says before it happens generally, right? The most common thing that guilty people do, especially those that are very guilty of the crimes they do, and especially ones that have a lot of substantial wealth and power, they're generally told to just deny. So, I don't know. What do you think? Now, there's way too much suspicious activity going on for a lot of these things being said to just be coincidental. You feel me? Ghislaine is hiding something, and she really doesn't want to say it. But this and, the connection to Prince Andrew are really the only things that we know for the time being. What do you guys think? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below as to what you guys think the conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell is more likely going to be, and what you guys think on whether or not she's guilty. So these are my opinions. I personally think that she is more than likely guilty. There's too much evidence to support the fact that she is, but I guess we'll, only see as time unfolds, right? Alrighty, so that's gonna be it for us today. If you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to, like, share, comment, and subscribe. really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this, and it helps to get us further up in that algorithm so we can reach more people. Now, if you guys didn't make it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave the word nefarious down in the comments below. So let me know that you're part of the 100% club and that you guys made it to the end of this video. With that being said though, my dudes, I do hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and as usual, until next time, please don't forget to live long and prosper, take care and peace, and keep it 1,000,000% real. I'll see you guys on the flip side.